Hello and welcome back to part 10 of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Before we get on to the episode, I want to talk about something that happened right after this recording session that will affect how the next few episodes are going to play out. We ran into a couple technical difficulties after recording. Essentially, the way this works is I record my mic separately from everything else, which goes in the screen recording. And what happened after we finished recording and I checked the files to see if everything was okay was all of my mic recording was there, but when I checked the video file itself, the audio was there for the first roughly 7 minutes, then it dropped out, was silent for about 2 hours, and came in the last half hour or so. Tried everything I could, but I had no way of fixing it. It seems it's not a problem with the file. I could not recover it. It was something that happened during recording that for some reason Soundflower decided, hey, I'm not going to work. So we are missing a good chunk of audio from the game, and we never got a chance to re-record because of everyone's schedules, so we're making do with what we have. To get around this, I'm going to try my best to sort of speed through the sections without the audio and summarize what's happening. I may include some of my own mic recordings of the narration, but other than that, this will be heavily condensed. And at some point in the future, we may try to go back and re-record this. So, unfortunately, this won't be as enjoyable as I would like it to be, but we will have 7 minutes before we get the next puzzle started, and we will have our very first ending of the game with live reactions and everything. So, it could be worse, and on with the episode. And we are about to go through door 3 and start the next puzzle.
I am Darkus, and I will be playing Ace and Junpei.
I'm a llama, and I will be playing Lotus, and I'm kind of the backup. I'm kind of the backup voice actor.
Ooh. I'm a panda, and I'll be playing Santa.
I'm Rem, and I will be playing Clover.
I'm Flute, and I'll be June.
I'm Roka Lily, and I'll be playing Seven.
And that is everyone, right? Yep.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, since Bo doesn't join us this time.
Everyone except for Monday.
We all gonna miss Bold.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, let's go.
It's just a shame we're gonna miss Bane and Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
we don't have a Bane yet.
But our hearts will go on.
We don't have a Bane yet.
No!
Our hearts will not
Whoa.
go on.
Okay. Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream full of insanity and not entirely human.
No! No! No!
She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair tearing.
No! Stop it, June!
He grabbed for her wrist, but as he did, June leapt up and ran. Toward the exit,
Please! Get me out of here! You have to let me out of here!
she screamed at the door and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles.
Oh, I see what's going on here. So
Why are you doing these horrible things?
Door ever do to you?
could I?
Who-
So
who-
if the doors are locked, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I make an
Yeah,
answer?
just
I
theory.
guess.
Yes,
So
go
if the
ahead.
doors are locked, probably what happened was the snake was either pushed in there or people, snake ended up in there, was unable to leave, but no one else could come in to help him activate the dead. So,
The thing is, the others would be dead too.
oh, that's true. Well,
So maybe they activated it
I
and
still
just didn't
think
go
it was
in?
murder.
yeah.
Yeah, I
'Cause
still
he
think
did
Snake
say,
was true.
are you guys planning to kill me? At one time where Junpei and Seven, didn't walk in, fast enough. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what happened?
I
They weren't
actually
fast
did say
masters?
that earlier today too. I spent like a lot of time posting all the combinations that would be possible to open the door
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
had a really long math jam
Oh, you
session.
did? Whoa.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this?
She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fists flailed against the door.
Oh.
Get me out of here! Please! Please, just let me out.
Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
No, get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed toward the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her.
Jeez, girl, would you stop fainting?
He felt drops of something warm and wet.
Well then.
Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob.
Oh my
Romantic.
gosh. Poor June.
Her shoulders shook, and great hot tears rolled down her face like rain.
We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be okay, Kenny.
Canny?
That's his nickname
What?
for her.
What?
Her name was a whisper.
Connie. I'll be here with you, okay?
She nodded
Okay.
once.
Oh yeah, because her name is Akane.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic.
Romantic.
Here, let me just
You-
creepily smell your hair.
What
while
a
I'm
nice way
holding
to
you.
say she smelled like old persons.
Do you feel better?
I know.
So
Yes.
nice. Oh.
But I'd like to stay here. For a little while at least.
Yes, around my arms, please.
Jumpy's body is so warm.
I'd like to stay here.
Oh
in
my
the room.
gosh.
I'd like to stay here a little while.
What are these lines?
Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June's, and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak.
You don't say.
Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead.
So, are we going to talk about the LR on the wind?
Well, I was just about to say something about that. It's obviously written in blood, but it can't be Snake's blood
Take a
because
way
he would
out,
have
quick!
needed to bleed before that. And also, how unrealistic is it that none of the blood actually splattered against the wall where the LLR is?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, what
Well,
a
he could have been in the corner, you know? Like, we don't really know.
Yes, still, it quite literally said all the walls were splattered with dried blood and dried fat. So,
Oh my gosh.
Those
just
letters
putting
were
the facts
blood.
out.
Okay, so this is the point where the audio cuts out and I start talking over the game. And basically we're going to speed through the puzzle and I'm going to go over it. So we're establishing that the letters on the wall are not Snake's blood. And there's something sticky in there and we're not sure quite how to get it out yet. Poking around to find toilet paper. 7 is looking at the tank. Found a key card. Found toilet paper. It's got something on it. Found luminol. Found a bucket. It's a bucket. Yep. And then June starts to remember a story about a bunch of rabbits from elementary school. And they died, and it kind of sucked. Yep. I think at this point, everyone started to come up with a really weird theory, and I wish I remembered what it was, but I don't. Maybe someone will fill me in, and I'll put it in the annotations. Alright. And they had no luck. But someone clearly has a crush. A couple of nerds. And that's gross. So, yeah. And now we combine the broom and the toilet paper because that makes sense. Definitely. There's a thermometer screwed to the wall. Seven uses weird terminology that no one's entirely sure what it means. There's a screwdriver in there, and we start to screw the thermometer off from the wall. Santa says something weird, slightly, about temperatures. Junpei doesn't take him seriously, but, you know, that's fine. Thermometer might open when it gets hot. And we use the luminol on the wall, and look, there's more letters, yay! Now we know where those go. So we fix all those, and that causes the water to get going, so we fill the bucket with water, because that's what you put in a bucket. And now we can get the blue card, because it's at the top of the drain, and flush the tar away, which means we have more numbers. And the thermometer opens. Woo, more numbers. And we add those all together, put the key cards in the lock. Santa tells us how to use a keypad again. Seven asks to borrow the broom, but hey, we found it. Seven sticks the broom in the door. And we are back where we started. And Lotus is really mad because we kind of screwed her over last time, so, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Seven splits everyone up and tells everyone to go back through the door. And Clover's sad. And people start debating what happened to him. The theory is that he was likely murdered by at least two other people who opened the door along with him and forced him in. And as far as we know, it could have been anyone because it happened while everyone split up. Ace says something about Zero making them doubt each other. It suggests that Zero is on the ship. And then Clover suggests that Zero is one of them. This is when Santa brings up that the game is basically set to run automatically because of the way the bracelets work. So Zero doesn't actually have to be controlling everything directly. And the theory all comes together basically to say that Zero killed Snake. And it's 3 a.m., so everyone starts moving on. Mercury keycard, yay! Opening doors. We got an elevator. And that goes down to the bottom deck with the number 2 door. So, that is Junpei 7 and Lotus going through the door. And we're all safe. There's a bunch of rooms, everyone splits them up. And puzzle starts. Find a tube of toilet paper, but the rod comes off. And then the handle comes together to make a screwdriver. Oh, look at that, there's always screwdrivers. Junpei comments on the ceiling, makes a bad pun about it. Lotus really had nothing to do with his toilet. That's entirely fair, I guess. This is a really great scene, and I'm sad we couldn't get it recorded. But, handle goes on the faucet, water turns on, and it starts to overflow. So we head to the next room, and the tiles comes out of the water, and we'll see what happens next time.